And yes, we are live again. Yes. So, who enjoyed the last session? I know you did. And now, this session, this is the grand finale. So, I need you to call somebody, tell somebody to tell somebody to tell somebody. Get ready. Because this session, this lady, this woman, she's coming with fire. She's coming with fire, as in serious fire, very heavy one. So, are you ready? Are you ready? So, now I'll have to the honor and privilege to invite this beautiful woman, Wuraola. She's not just beautiful, she is a very special woman. She's very special to me. Some people say we look alike. So come on, let us welcome Wuraola. I'm just going to introduce her now.
Ubaka is a multifaceted entrepreneur with over 15 years of legal experience and more than 16 years as the visionary founder of Wura. Yes, you heard it right, Wura, a fashion brand dedicated to helping confident women own every room they walk into with classy and perfectly fitted dresses. Her unique blend of legal insight, entrepreneurial grit, and creative excellence, Wuraola has become a trusted voice for women who desire to rise higher, shine brighter, and step boldly into their next season of growth. At the Woman's Blueprint, she brings her wealth of experience to inspire and empower women to embrace reinvention, pursue profitability without apology, and glow from the inside and out. So, with a standing ovation behind your screens, let us welcome Mrs. Wuraola Ubaka.
Yes, we have Wura here. Yes, welcome, Wura. So, Wura, fire us up. The Glow
Thank you
Queen has
so
come, the
much,
fashionista
Coach
herself.
Eunice.
Fire us up. I'm just going to go behind the screen and let you do your thing.
All right. Thank you so much for having me this evening. It's an honor to be in your space, and I'm so excited to be able to inspire everyone who is going to watch this stream and everyone who is on here live. If you're here and you can see me and you can hear me, I want to see you in the comment section saying you can see and hear me. I want to be sure I'm not talking to myself before I proceed. This is a session that you want to call everybody out for. You call your mom, call your dad. Yes, we want your dad to glow too. Call your sisters, call your soul sisters, call your covenant sisters, call your daughters if they are of age. You want everybody to come out for this session. So, we are talking about glowing in your garments. Our theme is glow in your garments, crowning yourself in elegance, comfort, confidence, and purpose. That is what we are going to be discussing today. And if I want to summarize this topic, what I'll be saying is that we will be exploring what it means to actually glow in your garments, what it means to actually glow through the things that we put on, what it means to be clothed in ways that make us glow. And I'm going to jump right into it. Tim, next slide, please. So I would ask you a question. What does your wardrobe say about your worth? What is your clothing telling us even before you speak? What are we hearing? What are we seeing? What is your clothing telling us before you ever open your mouth to speak? I want you to reflect deeply on that question. And I will open with this anchor scripture. And it is taken from Isaiah chapter 61, verse 10. And it says, He has clothed me with garments of salvation. He has covered me with a robe of righteousness. In some Bible versions, like if you look at the King James Version, it says, I will greatly rejoice in the Lord. My soul shall be joyful in the Lord, for he has clothed me with garments of salvation, and he has covered me with the robe of righteousness. Now, by way of introduction, I've already been introduced as a lawyer, a fashion entrepreneur, and a fashion business coach. And as a lawyer, I learned that my robe and wig were not just clothing, they were a symbol. They were a symbol of justice, they were a symbol of authority, they were a symbol of respect. When you see any lawyer, wearing their wig and gown, we typically don't wear it outside the courtroom. But if you see someone in a wig and gown, whether on the TV, or you actually have a reason to be in a courtroom and you see someone in a wig and gown, you know that, okay, this person, there's something that this robe that they are wearing signifies. It signifies that they have been called to the bar. It signifies that they are barristers. It signifies that they have the right to intercede to other people in court. Now, that robe is not just clothing. It is a garment that has a significance. Now, why is this important? Because I want you to understand that every garment that you wear has a significance. So when we actually wake up as women, because yes, this is a woman's conference, we are talking about the woman's blueprint. When we wake up as women and we want to step out every day, ask yourself, this dress I'm wearing, what does it reflect about my worth? What does it reflect? Is it passing the message I want to be received? Does it say who I am, what I do, what I want people to see or think or imagine when they look at me? These are the things that you need to actually pay attention to when you're actually dressing. You should not be dressing for dressing sake. And I know that this happens a lot because as mothers, life just happens. You're rushing out for school runs. You just carry one boo-boo like this. You just throw wham. You don't even wear bra, nothing. You just run, piam, 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 because you're the only one that is a mother. But this evening, I want you to drop that bad behavior. Every time that you're stepping out, you should remind yourself that you are glowing in your garments and that your garments tell a story of who you are, who you want them to know that you are, how you want to be addressed, how you want to be treated. I'll use the Nigerian example for you because I live in Nigeria, and Nigeria is a place that deals a lot with the way they address, like literally the way you look is how you will be addressed. So there's how you will dress, that somebody will tell you, I beg shift, madam shift now, I beg. And then there's how you dress, that they'll say, welcome ma, sorry, make I make room for you, make I make room for you. So ask yourself today, that are you wearing a beg shift? Abi, are you wearing, let me make room for you, ma, could you come in? Yes, there's how you will speak, that they will be speaking for net for you. And there's how you will speak, that they'll be like, who be this one, make it shift first. So you need to be able to dress in a way that actually reflects what you actually want to send out to the world. Now, because I wear 3 caps, for instance, I cannot come on this live, for instance, wearing a wig and gown. Like, what would that be all about? I can't also go to my fashion business or to my fashion house wearing a wig and gown. Same thing, I cannot go to court wearing this nice dress that I'm putting on, because what's that all about? So you need to be able to reflect creativity and elegance in the different roles that you have to play, whether you're a mom, whether you're a wife, whether you're a nurse, doctor, entrepreneur, whatever you are. You should think about your essence as a person when you are actually dressing up, and that is what it means to glow in your garments. Next slide, please. So now I want to talk about the power of garments. I want to talk about the power of garments, and I'm going to be exploring this power of garments through various lenses: Joseph's coats, Esther's royal robes, and the garments of praise that we see. Yes, I use biblical principles to explore different ideas because they give you a better understanding of the concept. So let's start with Esther's royal robe. But before we go there, clothes are a language. They communicate identity, they communicate value, they communicate intention. Garments in the Bible were never neutral. Every time that you see someone, emphasis placed on a garment, you will see that actually God placed a lot of emphasis on garments. Even from when they were trying to build a tabernacle for the Lord, you know, God actually told Moses, what to do. When he was giving him the dimensions, the directions for building that tabernacle, he went down to the garments. He said, for the priests, they will wear silk garments. The garments will be this color. The garments will be made from this fabric. He gave all the details of the garments that should have been worn into the tabernacle. Now, if we go forward to explore the story of Joseph, of course, we all know the story of Joseph, but for those who don't know, I'm going to summarize it. Joseph was this child who was very favored by God and his father. So his father loved him so much that he made him a coat of many colors. And what happened to that coat of many colors? His brothers became jealous because that coat of many colors signified the favor that his father had for him. It signified that his father loved him more than others. So that garment was a garment of favor. It showed him that you were more precious, you were more valued, you were more, you were just more than everybody else. And of course, his brothers knew the significance of that garment. And that is why when they actually sold him to slavery and pretended that he was killed by a wolf, they actually had to soil that garment. They actually had to put blood on the garment and bring that particular garment to his father and say, this your garment that you gave him that was a garment of favor, we have turned it into a garment of sorrow. They knew that that garment was significant. And that was why, the Bible doesn't make mistakes. That was why that garment was the significant thing that they took to tell Joseph's dad that Joseph had been killed. And that's the power of our garments. So when you actually put on things, don't just put on anything. Don't just put on anything. And it doesn't matter what stage of life you are in, whether you're a grandma, whether you're a spinster, whether you're an entrepreneur, whether you're a stay-at-home mom. I grew up watching my grandma actually dress up. And not even dress up, because obviously when I grew up, by the time I was growing up, my grandma was already quite a bit advanced in age. But my grandma would wake up every morning and she would dress up. Her nails were always pristine. Her hair was always pristine. And she would dress up and she would just dress up and sit down in the house. Like, grandma was the definition of never be caught on fresh. She would just dress up and she would just sit down in the house because she recognized that just waking up to dress up every day, that was a ritual that made her feel good. Have you noticed how when you wake up in the morning, if you don't actually have a bath, dress up, maybe splash on some makeup or something, you don't feel elevated. You still feel tired. You still feel sleepy. You still feel as if your body will still be dragging you. But the moment you actually have a shower, put on something nice, splash on some lip gloss, you just see the way your mood just comes alive. That is the power of a garment. Now, I always say, even like as a fashion entrepreneur, when I'm making dresses, at Wura, we make dresses. I like to say that we clothe confident women in classy dresses that fit just right. So we make classy dresses for confident women. And I always say to my team, I say, when people are buying a dress or when people are reaching for a dress in their wardrobe, they don't think about how much they bought that dress for. When you're trying to buy a dress, you don't say, when you're trying to wear a dress in the morning, you don't say, this dress was 1 million naira, let me wear it. That's not what you think of. You think of how the dress makes you feel. You say, I have a meeting today. I want to look powerful. So you go for a power suit. I'm going for a child's birthday today. So I want to look laid back, but I still want to look put together. So you might go for a two-piece. You might go for a trouser and top. You might go for... So when you actually want to reach for something in the wardrobe, you're thinking about how that garment makes you feel. And Because you're thinking about that garment makes you feel, you're also translating that will I call it that power or that essence to the world. My my mom, not my mom, my son always teases me and my daughter. So because I'm always looking put together when I go to their school, like it's always so funny. So my daughter will say, "Mommy, all my friends love you." I say, "Really? Why do you think?" I say, "Really? Why is that?" And she'll say, "Because they think you look like Barbie." And I never really understood it because I will go to the school and the children will be hugging me and they'll be touching my face. And I always found it so weird. But the day my daughter said that, it finally made sense because somehow I always look put together going to the school, maybe because I always have so much doing during the day, so I always have to look right. So I always look put together going to their school. And imagine maybe you have a mom who is not really conscious about the way she looks, and then you have this other friend's mom that is always looking put together. You just be like, why does this person look like this? Now look at that power that my garment is carrying, that is even transcending to other children in that school. Do you understand? That's the power of our garments. Garments are powerful because you're sending an aura into the world. You're sending joy, you're sending hope, you're sending confidence, you're just sending positive vibes just by showing up right. And so every time you go into your wardrobe to pick up something to wear, you need to ask yourself that, am I coming correct? Am I actually coming correct? Because the takeaway from this session today is that you need to come correct all the time. So let's look at Esther. Now, when we look at Esther chapter 5, verse 1, that verse tells us that now it happened that on the third day, Esther put on her royal robes and stood in the inner court of the king's palace. Esther recognized, if we don't know the story, so, Esther, by this time, Esther had already become the queen. But then she knew that she needed to save her people, save the Jews from Haman, who wanted to kill them. And so she needed to get an audience with the king. So what did he tell her? He said that Esther put on her royal robes and stood in the inner court of the king's palace. She didn't just show up anyhow. There is a pattern for dressing at the palace. There's a pattern for dressing that when you dress up, people will first stop and say, who is this person? Just this week, something happened. I had, there was this entrepreneur who is also a fashion entrepreneur. He has the biggest garment factory in Nigeria as of today. And I've been following this person on Instagram and I wanted to connect with him. And I said, okay, I now saw, so I woke up that morning and I saw that this man was actually going to be in Abuja, and because he was speaking at an event, and then I was like, okay, I am going to go for this event. And this man, I'm going to speak to him. I am actually going to be, I'm going to get an audience with him, not just speak to him. So I knew that I was having a divine encounter. That is how I interpreted it. So I did not just show up anyhow. I dressed up, better dressing. And after that man had his session, you can imagine how many fashion entrepreneurs were at that program. And, people were just gathering around him, asking this person saying that, this person saying that. But I know that there is a pattern for dressing in the palace. If you want to be seen, there's a pattern. So I showed up in that pattern. And the moment I stood in front of him and I said, hello, sir, my name is Wuraola Ubaka, and I would like to book a one-on-one session with you. That was all I said to him. And he was like, do you have a garment factory? Where is it? I would like to visit you tomorrow. But obviously, he first looked at me from head to toe, because there's how somebody else will say that, and you will look at the person from head to toe and you will say, this person is not even serious. We all do it. We size people up, don't we? We size people up. In fact, just today, I was telling people in my Profit Circle, which is the ready-to-wear boot camp of the Profitable Fashionpreneur Academy. I was telling people in my Profit Circle today, and this was in relation to actually packaging, sending out orders, but it can easily be translated to dressing. I said that when we wanted to get married, or when we were still in the single season and we're being toasted, when a boy comes to toast you, you will first look at him head to toe, say, Wetin this one dey wear wey wan come toast me? You go look in cloth well well, look in shoe, look in watch, say wetin e dey wear? We all size people up. So if you know that you size people up, and then you now come out and appear looking looking anyhow, don't you know that they are sizing you up? So there are some breakthroughs that will not happen for you just because you are not clothed properly. Just because you are in the wrong garment, your garment is making you not to be seen. There are some of you that in your offices, like, you are so smart. If they talk book, now you don't do everything. Before they talk one, you don't finish 10. They finish work, but they will never pick you for that presentation. They will not ever pick you for that pitch. They will never pick you. Why? Because your dressing is not aligning. It's not aligning with the thing that is in your head. There needs to be an alignment. It's not enough to be smart and then you look shabby. Marry the two. So blowing in your garments is actually about ensuring that you are dressed appropriately. If Esther was going to the palace and she just dressed anyhow, just to show up, do you think the king would have given her that reverence? He will know that that's how you, because she would dress like this and come and like say, king go say, wetin dey happen? Ha! This one that my wife has come here looking like this matter must be very serious. That is how your dressing, should be. That is the power in garments. Now, let's go to garments of praise. In Isaiah 61:3, we see that, that verse says that to give them beauty for ashes, the oil of joy for mourning, and the garment of praise for a spirit of heaviness. So in that verse, God was telling us that he was removing and replacing. So he was replacing the garment of praise with a spirit of heaviness. Our garments carry a mood. So you're not just wearing things for wearing sake. Our garments carry a mood. So you're exchanging. Imagine. So you know how maybe sometimes when someone dies, in some cultures in Africa, you're supposed to wear black because that black is a garment of mourning. Especially maybe when someone dies at a young age. Now, in contrast, when someone dies, like who is maybe 90, 100, you're supposed to wear white because that white is a garment of celebration. You are celebrating life. You're supposed to show up opulently. Same death, but different circumstances. And because of that, the garments must change. So garments can be used in exchange. You can see there sometimes, again, still what I said about how when you wake up in the morning and you haven't had a bath, you haven't dressed up, you just be feeling, sometimes you even be feeling sick. Your body no go just they follow you. Your body will just be, but the moment you just bath now, you just wear better clothes. You just wear better clothes, like you just balance. You just see that your day starts coming together. That's an exchange. You're exchanging garments of sleep for garments of productivity. That's an exchange. And that exchange does something to your spirit. And that is the power of garments. So think of a time when you wore something that gave you courage or favor. What garment was that for you? I'm sure there are some dresses that when you just wear this dress, you just notice that people just, oh, hello, your dress, you look so beautiful. Your dress is so fine. There are some dresses that open doors for you. There are some dresses. You need to actually pay attention to the patterns. There was something my dad used to do. He still does it. So he has this shirt that he calls his lucky shirt. Every time that he wants to go out, he will wear this shirt. He will say it's his lucky shirt. No, every time he wants to travel, he will wear this shirt. He will say this shirt is his lucky shirt. This shirt brings him luck. And I'm just like, which one is lucky shirt again, this man? But he has noticed that particular shirt, that particular garment, he associates it with favor. He associates it with favor. So every time he wears that garment, he sees that he's favored. So he wears it every time he's traveling. So you need to study the patterns in your garments, because some people call it a superstition, but garments carry power. If they didn't carry power, the Bible will not give us all these references as to the importance of garments. Okay, team, let's move. Next slide. Good. So now, how do we talk about the connection between the inner and the outer? When we talk about glow, when we say glow in your garments, we're not just talking about makeup, we're not just talking about fabric, we are talking about alignment. We want your garments to be aligned with who you are. We want your garments to speak to your person, not just a random cloth that you just throw on. We want it to express that deep down person that you are. Why is it that we see some people and we say, that woman is very put together? Oh, that one is very scattered. That woman is very scattered woman. And you see some person, that woman, she's always looking sad. That woman, she's always happy. That woman is so bubbly, so joyful. Think about it. You will see that a lot of times we are associating garments with expressions. So when you see someone who is in a colorful dress, like for those who live in the UK, I always say that the UK likes the UK likes people who are sad, because if people are not wearing black, you're wearing grey. If you're not wearing grey, you're wearing coffee. In fact, when you wear color in the UK, they'll be asking you, where are you going to? I remember when I was doing my master's, and one of my lecturers said to me, he said, oh my God, you are so Nigerian. Because I was so unapologetic about my colors. I never owned a black or gray sweater. All my jumpers were red, mustard, pink, bright colors. I was the color girl. So like even in winter, you will not find me looking melancholic, because that's not in my character. So I will not come and be wearing black jumper because everybody is wearing black. If people want to wear black, it's okay. I will still wear my yellow. I will still wear black. I will still buy. I was the one who had pink overcoats and blue. Like I have like the most colorful colors of overcoats. And I remember, my tutor told me once, he was like, you are so eccentric, but it's your confidence for me. Like, I like the way you just wear your colors and you just show up. Because, yes, when I step into the room, you must know that I have arrived. That is me. And I'm unapologetic about it. So, I know that because I am a happy and bubbly person, right? If I start to wear those blacks or all those drab colors, they are going to dampen my spirit. So I intentionally dress to look like how I feel. I don't dress to blend in with the environment. Oh, these people, they wear black, so let me wear black. Or these people, they wear. Now, while it is important to balance it out. So for instance, if I was going to court, I would wear black, because that is a profession. I'm going to court. Court's color is black and white. His black robe, his wig. Do you understand? But at the same time, I will not say because I'm living in a new environment that has nothing to do with my profession or anything. Just because people randomly wear gray, they have decided that they are melancholic, then I will not come and be wearing gray. No, that's not me. I will wear the colors the way I feel. When I wake up in the morning, how I feel is how I will dress. How I feel is how I will dress. And so, even when you're in circumstances or places where, dressing the way you feel is not the norm, you can still choose to make sure that you are dressing in alignment with who you are. You can still choose to make sure that you are dressing in alignment with who you are. So imagine me being a lawyer and being a fashion entrepreneur. they're like they're like two sides. No, are there even two sides of a coin? They're like two whole coins, because as a fashion entrepreneur, I'm so eccentric. Like, yes, I like really classy dresses and all that, but I like my dresses to be bold and empowering. But as a lawyer, I like to be demure, like hair pulled back, mini earring. Just let me just look neat and clean. Let me just look like someone that has plenty sense. Do you understand? Doesn't mean I don't look like I have plenty sense as a fashion entrepreneur, but you get what I mean. So, but I know when to strike that balance. So I'm not going to be looking like a lawyer when I'm going for a fashion show or a show on Fashion Week. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to look like a fashion entrepreneur, despite the fact that I'm a lawyer. So glowing is being able to balance your inner and outer connections. And that is why that scripture in Proverbs 31:25 says, she is clothed with strength and dignity, and she laughs without fear of the future. So she's not wearing a dress. When you dress up, you are not wearing a dress. You are wearing joy. You're wearing peace. You're wearing confidence. You're wearing laughter. You're wearing strength. You are wearing a feeling. That's what I want you to take out. You're not wearing a dress. You are wearing a feeling. That's the feeling that we want to communicate with the world. And so whatever you're wearing must be aligning with how you feel, with the message you're passing, with how you want to be seen, with what you want to evoke in the minds of people. When they see you, what do you want them to think about you? Your dressing should reflect that, right? Your dressing should reflect that. So what you should be asking yourself today is, my garments, these things that I wear, are they reflecting who I am becoming, or are they reflecting who I used to be? I remember talking to a friend of mine who is also a fashion entrepreneur, and she was saying to me, she recently started, so she's someone in my ready to wear boot camp. And during one of our mid boot camp reviews, she was saying how she was creating clothes that were not even aligning. So let me explain. This is someone who used to be a banker, and when she was a banker, she was just out there. Like, she was showing up in an eccentric, polished way. And then she became a fashion entrepreneur. She became a bespoke fashion entrepreneur. So she was making things for people. When you're sewing bespoke, you don't really pay attention to anything. You don't pay attention to trends. You don't pay attention to much. It's just, if customer bring clothes, they say, sew it like this, you sew it like that. Sew it like this, you sew it like that. Sew it like. And then now she's now trying to transition to ready to wear. And so what happens? She needs to start studying the trends. But because she has been stuck in the bespoke look for so long without really knowing what's happening, she was designing, and she was just designing and designing. And she was wondering, why are my collections not doing as well as I think they should? And then she now says, so she goes into a season where she's contemplating, should I go back to work or should I continue this ready to wear thing? And then she said something that for her was so instructive. She said she looked into her wardrobe and the things she was making, and she realized that she could not even wear anything there. And that for her was the realization that she needed to shift. So what has happened? Her garments were no longer reflecting who she was. Her garments, the thing she was wearing, had made her forget that she was this confident banker who used to show up and people would be like, wow, you look amazing. She forgot who she was because she stopped dressing up. She was so caught up with bespoke orders, bending over the machine. She stopped dressing up. And because she stopped dressing up, she forgot the woman she used to be. And then when she now decided that, okay, I want to become somebody else, she did not have what to use to become. She didn't have the wardrobe that was matching her becoming. I hope we are getting this. I hope we are getting the way these things work. So dressing is a spiritual journey. It's not just putting clothes together. And I need us to take that out today. Okay, let's go to the next slide, please. Okay, so now let's talk about crowning yourself. Let's talk about crowning yourself. What does it mean to crown yourself? Crowning yourself means that you are intentionally choosing to dress in a way that affirms your dignity, not diminishes it. You wake up and you intentionally choose that, Wura, you are a powerful woman. You will dress according to that. You will dress accordingly. You will dress accordingly. So now, because I work in government, so sometimes I find myself in rooms with very high level people and high level meetings. So dressing is, very important to me. So there was a day that my boss actually, I just got posted to a new office, and my boss told me, okay, you're going to represent me at this meeting, and that meeting was supposed to convene, the permanent secretary and all the directors, and I mean, I'm a level what officer, but I knew that I had to come correct. Now, when I dressed up and went for that meeting that day, even me, I knew that they were looking at me, because why will you not look at me? You must say, who is this person? Because I don't want to go into a room and disappear. You don't leave any memo. Even if you don't remember my name, you say, that girl that was wearing that burgundy jacket, that was nice. That's what I want to hear. Why? Because that my burgundy jacket is making me look powerful. That is what I want you to take away. So me, that I'm going for that meeting, I don't want to come and be looking like a tiny low-level officer. No, I'm dressing in a way that matches the people I am going to meet there. I'm not even dressing as who I am now. I'm saying, okay, oh, this is a meeting that has PMSEC, has director, has this. I need to look like them. What are they wearing? That's what I'm wearing. So when I talk about crowning yourself, it means that you are intentionally choosing to dress in a way that affirms your dignity. It affirms your dignity, not diminishes it. So there are 3 dimensions of crowning yourself, which I'm going to explore. And the first dimension is going to be elegance. The second dimension is going to be confidence. And the third dimension is purpose. So let's go. For the first dimension, which is elegance, we look at again the story of Esther. And Esther knew that she had to come out in a way that was elegant, in a way that was befitting of her role as a queen. Now, many of us on this call are mothers. Many of us on this call have daughters. And I want you to take a moment to reflect on how the way you dress impacts on the way your daughter dresses and her confidence. Many times we do not realize that there's a direct correlation between the way you show up as a mother and the way your daughter can show up. My daughter is just 4. But there are some things that Olana will never wear. You see, my daughter, from the time she was about 3, okay, I wear high heels a lot. I wear heels a lot. From the time she was about 3, she started telling me, Mommy, I want shoes that have heels. So last time we traveled over summer, I saw these beautiful shoes at H&M, and so I bought it. I bought it for her. No, I think I saw it at Monsoon. So it had a little heel, very nice gold shoes. I bought it for her. Every Sunday that my daughter was going to church, my daughter would bring out that gold shoe. She associated that gold shoe with a type of elegance. And because she used to see mommy wearing high shoe to church, she knows that when she's supposed to go to church, she's not supposed to be wearing the same shoes like, the flat black shoes she wears to school. She wants to be able to have a differentiation too, like mommy that looks pen going to church. Now, because I had modeled that correlation between how I'm showing up and how I look elegant, she immediately just embodied it. So now I don't even have to dress her for church. Olana will bring out her church dress, short shoe, and the same thing with my son. In fact, my son, if you give him like jeans or you give him like joggers, he'll be like, no. So if you give him trousers, English trousers during the week, he will tell you, no, that mommy, that's church clothes. And if you give him jeans or joggers during a Sunday, he will tell you, no, mommy, this is school clothes. So because they have watched me and their dad model these things to them, they now know that this thing, I need to dress like this when I'm going here. And when I'm going here, I need to dress like this. And when I dress like this, I look a certain way. So when you go to church and you wear your suspenders, so my son would actually never dress up for church without his suspenders. Either of them. He will either wear his suspenders on his trouser, or he wear a waistcoat on his trouser, or he wear a bow tie on his trouser. One of those three must be in his dressing. So either he's wearing his shirt and trouser with a tie, or a shirt and trouser with suspenders, or a shirt and trouser with a waistcoat. Like, because he grew up, seeing me dress him that way. And for now, he just associates that with church. And he also grew up seeing both me and his dad show up looking a certain way when we are going to certain places. So he knows that he has to come correct. My son is not dependent, and he's just 4. So imagine how he will be when he's 8 or when he's 10 or when there are something, and that's why then the Bible says you should train up a child. This part of your becoming is part of training up that child, please. How you show up is part of training up that child. You can't just be dressing anyhow. You're going to work, you just wear anything. You're going to church, but when your child, where you say, why are you wearing this thing? Don't you know the house that you come from? How will they know the house that they come from when they are looking at you? They are looking at you now. They are following you. They are following you. So if you are not up to speed, they will not be seeing how to show up. And mind you, confidence is how children show up is very impacts highly on their confidence. It does. And I'm going to go further to actually address this issue. I'm digressing, but I just feel led to share it. Now, you know how in children's schools, there's always this child or these two children that they are always chosen for things. When they want to do presentation, they will choose them. When they want to do singing, they will choose them. When they want to do dance, they will choose them. They're always choosing them for everything. And you'll be like, why is it this child? Go back and look at how that child dresses to school every day. Now, imagine how the confidence of your child is being impeded because they are not that child that is getting chosen. And the reason why they are not getting chosen is because they are not dressing well. Your child will be going to school. The socks is hanging up. One is down. The school clothes are not ironed. The shoe is not polished. The whole thing, the child just... And meanwhile, the child will now go to school, see some people, gagging up. But somehow you haven't been able to package your child so that it will be your child that they are choosing all the time. Because even you are not packaged yourself as a mother. So you see this thing about being able to glow up in your dressing is not optional for you. Whether you're a stay-at-home mom or whether you're a work-from-home mom, remote worker, whether you are a working class mom who thinks you're too busy to raise the children, please, you have to do these things with intentionality. You have to intentionally create time to be able to show up for your children. And so Esther's royal robe gave her confidence. It gave her confidence. It allowed her show up with confidence. When we look at Zechariah chapter 3 verse 4, that's very well said. See, I have removed your iniquity from you, and I will clothe you with rich robes. That was identity shifting again, because he said, I've removed your sin. And because I have removed your sin, I will now clothe you with rich robes. I will now change your robes. I will now move those robes by clothing you with rich robes. So we need to remember that our dressing should signify confidence. It should signify elegance, and it should signify purpose. When you dress up well, you just light up a room. When you actually show up as you should, you light up the room. And as women, we have the power to be creators. Whatever we touch, we create. So we need to actually be able to create through the way we show up. Next slide. So still again, expanding on the issue of elegance. Elegance is not about expense. But don't enter my video. Elegance is not about expense. It's about refinement. It's about order, and it's about grace. True elegance whispers dignity. It doesn't scream for attention, but it shows that you're somebody that should be paid attention to. There's a difference. True elegance doesn't scream for attention, but it shows that you should pay attention to that person. And that's why normally at Wura, I would say that when we design clothes that make you the star of the show. But at the same time, we do the delicate balance that makes sure that the eyes are on you. You know how someone can come into a room and you're like, this woman looks nice. Oh, this address is so fine. The feather, the this, the fabric, very nice. And then in contrast, there's someone that comes into a room. You say, this woman is looking so nice. I can't really tell. I don't know what it is about her, but she just looks fine. She just looks put together. So now I'm trying to differentiate attention seeking and dignity dressing. There are some dresses that you wear that just make you look loud, that make you look unrefined, that make you look unpolished. I don't want you to be in the range of people wearing those type of dresses. If you're on this call today, I want you to do a wardrobe assessment. Every time you put on a clothes, ask people around you, well, what do you think of me in this dress? If the question you're hearing is that, oh, the dress looks fine. I like the feather. If you see them focusing on the features of the dress, you want to pay attention to that dress because that dress may be taken away from you. So you want to wear dresses that make people say, oh, you look so put together. You look so good. Oh, I like the way you look. Not, I like the dress. There's a difference. Dressing elegantly keeps the focus on you. It keeps the focus on you, not on the dress. It keeps the focus on you, on the woman who is wearing the dress. Think about Queen Elizabeth. I use the UK a lot because I'm always in the UK. So, but think about Queen Elizabeth when she was alive. Now, or Princess Diana, they always came out. In fact, think about the royal family generally. They always come out looking so polished, so put together, so or think about Michelle Obama when she was, the first lady. But you will never see them in overpowering clothes. You don't look at them and say, this suit is so fine. No, you just look. When you look at them, you just know that they're just put together. That is how you should be looking. That is the dressing of elegance. Elegance keeps the focus on you, not on the dress. So when we look at First Peter chapter 3, verse 3-4 says that your beauty should not come from outward adornment, rather it should be from your inner self. The unfading beauty of a gentle and quiet spirit. So that your inner self should be able to reflect in the things that you wear. And that is why I say the focus must be on you, not on the dress, right? So let's move to the next slide, please. Confidence. Now, I told you I want your dressing to reflect elegance, confidence, and purpose. Now, clothes can be an armor. Clothes can be an armor. You have to dress like you believe in the assignment that you have. You have to dress like you believe in the assignment that you have. Esther clothed herself for breakthrough. Now, assess where you are, whatever stage that you are. If you're in a season of motherhood, what is your assignment? Your assignment is that you have been handed over a legacy to build, which means that you must model the building of that legacy. If you are a entrepreneur, you're a captain of industry, you're upwardly mobile in the workplace, you know that, okay, now I'm now sitting in rooms that I used to aspire to. Now I'm now chairing boards. Now I'm now looking at, at taking over the corner office, what do you want to do? You want to be able to dress in ways that show that you are powerful, that you are confident, that you are worthy, and that you belong in that room. That's how you want to dress. You want to dress in a way that shows that you belong in that room. That's how you want to dress. So your dressing should show that you are confident, that you have courage, that you can show up, that you're unapologetic, that you're unafraid. So yes, you may be unafraid in the way you think, you may be unafraid in the way you speak, you may be unafraid in the things you write, but your dressing must reflect it. We need to know that you are unafraid. So your dressing must reflect confidence. So let's go to the next slide, please. Purpose. Your dressing must also reflect purpose. Your dressing must actually say, who are you now? And what is the assignment that you have been given? What is the assignment that you have been given? Your dressing must align with your assignments. I've already used the example before. I'm a lawyer. I'm a fashion entrepreneur. I'm a fashion business coach. Every day when I show up at any of those roles, I show up as I should, as a role. Because the way I show up reflects what is required, the garment that is required for that season, for that assignment. So today you're asking yourself, what is the assignment that I have been given? Maybe you have been given the assignment to lead. Maybe you have been given the assignment to start something. Maybe you have been given the assignment to inspire. Whatever assignment you know you've been given, is your dressing aligning with that purpose? Do people see you and see you in that assignment? Now we have Eunice telling us to glow up. And every time I see Eunice, she's glowing from the inside out. She's glowing. Imagine if she was telling us to glow up. And you look at her and you're even looking for the glow. That is Ike Agulagi. You're like, why is she not glowing? But she's telling us to glow up. And you can see she's glowing. And she's dressing in a way that is making her glow. Her dressing is aligning with her purpose. So if you see, the thing about your message and you, the messenger, is that there must be an alignment. Because when the message does not align with the messenger, you look like a fraud. That's the truth. When your message does not align with you as a messenger, you look like a fraud. You make people doubtful of who you are or what it is you say you can do or what it is you say you can achieve. And that is why that you can't get it wrong, really. You really can't get it wrong, right? There must be an alignment of message and messenger. So of your dress and then the message, your purpose. There must be an alignment. So in Proverbs chapter 31, verse 22, we see that that Bible verse says, she makes covering for her bed. She is clothed in fine linen and in purple. She is clothed in fine linen and in purple. And we all know that purple signifies royalty. And that's another thing that you actually want to pay attention to, colors. You know, when you are dressing in certain seasons, you must make sure you are wearing colors that align with that season. You make sure that you're wearing colors that you are aligned with that season. I was telling members of my profit circle the other day, I said, you do not see any member of the royal family wearing tomato red. The thing is just bright, shining like the sun. No. Hello. They are royals. The focus stays on them. They are royalty. They can come up in a burgundy. They can come up in a coral. They can come up. You even hear the way they are calling the name of these colors. You'll be like, this is a rich color. This is a rich color. So colors are really important when you're building your wardrobe, you know, as someone who is trying to show up as royalty, as someone who is trying to step into a season. You want to make sure that the colors are reflecting. And that is why in my brand, Wura, we focus a lot on colors. We do, like there are some colors you will never see me make for my woman because There's how I want her to look. That's how I want her to step into any room. So there are some things that we never even, I don't even want to give her that option of putting that type of thing on her body, because it's not taking her to where I want her to go to. So you need to pay attention to your colors too. So let's move to the next garment, and let's move to the next slide. So let's talk about, here we are talking about a practical blueprint. Okay. Please, can you expand that slide for me? Yes. So we are talking about a practical blueprint. We can see that God clothed Adam and Eve in Genesis 3:21. He didn't, at first they were naked, right? When we did not have sense, until they came and gave us a problem. And then when they now realized that they were naked and he wanted to clothe them, he now clothed them properly in proper garments. Sorry about that. So this, in the same way, you need to pay attention to the things that you are wearing. In Luke 15:22, when Jesus was telling the parable about the prodigal son, and his dad came, when he came back, and his dad told him, come, he said, bring the best robe, put it on him, for this my son was lost and is now found. If there was no significance, he would just allow his son to be wearing the rag. But he needed to move his son from slave to son. He needed to change his identity. And that's why he said, bring the best robe, put it on him. Don't let him not just be wearing something that is not, he just be wearing anything. This is a son of the house. My son was lost and now he is found. Bring the best robe and put it on him. So I've been told I have to round up, so I'm going to rush this through and round up. All right. So let's now go to the next slide. I think I have actually addressed most of this. So let's go to the next slide. A practical garment blueprint. Okay. So I have a few other things in my notes. So I'm just going to run through them. So I want to give you a practical garment blueprint that can help you, because it wouldn't make sense that I finish coming here speaking everything and I don't give you actionable steps that you can take to glow in your garments. So the first thing that you want to do is to realize that clothing is stewardship, to be intentional about it. Clothing is stewardship, so you have to be intentional. The first thing you need to do is, number one, know your body and honor it. Understand your body type, your body shape, and honor it in your dressing. If you know your plus size, you should know the type of things to wear. If you know you're skinny, you should know the type of things to wear. If you don't know, go and research. Now there's AI everywhere. Research, you can even stimulate that thing with an AI image so that you can get a clear picture of how it looks. So you need to know your body and honor your body. Number two, choose colors with intention. Who are you? Always choose colors that reflect who you want to be. Choose your colors with intention. Number three, invest in quality. Invest in good quality clothes. And by quality, I don't mean a function of price, but invest in clothes that you can use over a period, and clothes that can transition and be used with other things in your wardrobe. You need to start your wardrobe with basic staples, basic colors: black, white, blue, pink, purple, brown. So you want to have those standalone colors, and then you now have few other colors in different accents that you can use to actually pair those colors. So you need to choose colors with intention. The third thing is, so you're investing in quality, you're choosing colors with intention, and then you build your wardrobe for assignments. So when you are actually shopping, don't just buy anything because it's say, this one is trendy, no, it's in season, let's buy. No. Even if you want to do trends, you need to be able to balance trends with timelessness. So balance trendy things with timeless things. Yes, you can buy something that is trendy, but it must also be timeless. It must fit into the timeless wardrobe so that you constantly have outfits that can allow you show up for your assignments. You must have outfits that will allow you show up for your assignments. So yes, so basically, let me just recap now. I've talked about, the essence of dressing and how you should grow in your garments. I've told you that growing in your garments means showing up with intentionality. And I've told you that you need to think about three things all the time: elegance, confidence, and purpose. You need to be able to dress in a way that is elegant, in a way that makes you feel confident and powerful, and you need to dress in a way that reflects your assignment. And then there are things that you can do to help you to be able to create this system, a garment blueprint. Number one, know your body. Number two, choose colors with intention. Number three, invest in quality. And number four, build a wardrobe that aligns with your assignment. So it has been a pleasure facilitating on this session, and I hope we have actually gone home with something that we didn't know before, and that we are armed with the things we need to show up authentically and authoritatively as women who are glowed up. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Wura. Thank you so much. It's been such a pleasure to have you, Coach Wura. Wow. Did you enjoy this session? I need you to put in the comment section. I want to see your fire emojis in the comment section if you enjoyed this session. And if you know that from today, she's giving you an assignment, she's giving everyone an assignment, go and check your wardrobe. My sister, go and check your wardrobe. Go and do your assignment. Check your wardrobe and see, does this wardrobe, does it actually befit your personality? If it doesn't, you may need to do some wardrobe shopping. Yes, it's very, very key. Thank you so much, Wura. Please, if you have any questions, can you pop your questions in the comment section? Pop your questions. We're already shutting up with time. Kindly pop your questions in the comment section. And before that, I'm just going to play this video about our November 1st event. If you're in the UK, do not miss this event for anything. Please ensure you come for this event because it's going to be, and you know what? Come glowing. Ensure that you come dressed up for the event. No jeans, so come glowing in your beautiful garment. See you there. Hey, Queens! So, I've brought good news for you. So, you know what? On the 1st of November, we will be having this event dedicated for you, for every woman. Yes. And you know what? This event is an event like no other. We'll be having great lineup of speakers like Coach Wendy, #1 African parents coach. For those in TIP, you already know how we run it, right? You know. And for those in MMP, Masterpiece Women, Coach Wendy is coming with her fire, like she's coming with her MMP vibes, bringing that fire. She's not coming to talk about parenting here. No, it's about you women, because we are special. Yes. And this conference is for you, that woman that wants to become a better version of herself, that woman that wants to glow, that woman that wants to thrive. In the midst of all her troubles, she still wants to stand. She still wants to grow from the inside to the outside. And not just Coach Wendy, we'll be having Pastor Modupe Afolabi. She is one powerhouse. This woman, this 60-year-old that looks like a 30, you need to come and see her. Trust me, you need to come and see her. She's going to be talking to us about aligning our faith. Because you know, what affects the physical starts from the spiritual. So we are going to also be addressing the spiritual, aligning our spiritual and our physical, so that we can glow properly from the inside to the outside. For women that are so busy, or women that you have special needs children, and it's just like it's so much for you. Tola Andu is coming. This woman has raised a child who has been autistic. Now, Kevin could not talk till he was like 10 years old, yes. But Tola, in the midst of all these troubles, was still thriving. Thriving as a mother, as a full-time employee. Yes, she's a professional. And raising this child. And this child has grown to become a handsome young man. How is she doing it?
So you that have been shouting, I'm overwhelmed, I'm overwhelmed. Hey, motherhood, I'm overwhelmed. Come to this conference. Come and hear from women that are not just thriving, but women that are glowing from the inside to the outside. Register for this conference. I want to see you there.
So, if you do have any questions, can you pop your questions in the comment section? And as we've just mentioned, please do not miss that event for anything. When you're coming, ensure you come glowing up. Yes, come with that beautiful dress. Any questions for Coach Wura before we call it a day? And I just want to say to everyone, thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much for joining us on this conference. It's been an awesome time from yesterday to today. It's been a great time. And Coach Wura came this evening, wrapping it up and teaching us how to dress, as in you dress to be addressed. I tell people your impression matters. How you it's not just about how it's not beauty is not just about how you look, it's also how you dress. It's your dress that will also make you look beautiful. So it starts with you dressing the way you want to be addressed. Let your dress bring out that inner beauty in you. Glow from the inside to the outside. And that is what it is. So, is there any question? If there is no question, I'm just going to say to Coach Rua to just give us a final word. And then we call it a wrap. And we will see you next year for another Woman's Blueprint Conference. And UK people, don't carry last. Ensure you come. And as Wura has dragged us, so she said it's black and brown we used to wear. Please wear sparkling, wear something that wear beautiful colors, bright colors.
Okay, Makandi, black and brown, black, brown,
Coach Wura,
gray.
you have dragged us too
If
much.
they
Oh.
try too much, they put small white inside there.
Oh my God.
Navy, black.
So you know what, Queen and Trim and Glow Queens, we are going to surprise Coach Wura. We'll surprise her. Send her videos and tell her that come on, we UK women, we can
I
dress.
want
We
to be
can dress.
surprised, so very
We are
unfortunate I
going
can't attend
to.
this event. So that
We
I'll
will
bring my
surprise you. We will surprise you. We will pepper. If I will not just surprise, we will pepper you.
I cannot be
Yeah?
prepared, but I can be surprised. All right.
Okay.
Thank you
Thank
so
you
much,
so
Coach
much.
Eunice. It's been a pleasure facilitating on this session. I say all the time that many times we don't realize the power that what we wear carries. We don't realize how much what we wear affects our identity as humans and actually opens doors for us. Because the truth of the matter is that you may be smart and you may have plenty sense, but before you ever open your mouth to speak, someone has judged you. They've already judged, they've already even decided whether they want to give you a chance to speak. And so that's why it's important that you show up giving yourself the best opportunity to be heard wherever you're showing up at, whether it's at the supermarket, whether it's at your children's school, whether it's at work, whether it's just being at home, being in the presence of your children, whether it's at your remote work. You need to show up as the best, most authentic version of yourself, properly dressed, properly dressed. And I know this particular topic is so important because as women and as mothers, we just sometimes just forget what it even felt like, to look a certain way. So it's always important that we continue to look inwards and know that we are worthy, we are worth it. We need to be able to show up in a way that actually honors ourselves and honors God and makes us feel good. So I'm going to leave it at that for today. And thank you so much, Coach E. And I'll see you next year, maybe. I don't know. Let's see how that goes. Thank you
Yes,
so
we
much for
will.
having me. It's
It's
been an
been
honor.
such a pleasure.
Thank you so
Yes. And I'm just going to leave you women with these words. Your glow from the inside to the outside is about you. It's not just about the makeup. I intentionally these 2 days no makeup. I'm going to come here showing natural. It's not just about the makeup. It's about you. It's about what you eat. It's about how you look after yourself. It's about a lot of things, and it's also about what you wear. Dress to be addressed. Build your wardrobe for assignment, as Coach Wura would say. Choose your colors. Be intentional about it. Show up, and it's okay. Let heads turn, yes, not because they are dress provocative, as in you're showing up your skin or showing up parts that you shouldn't show, but because okay, who is this beautiful man? Who is this woman so dressed and neatly dressed, decently dressed? Yes, that's what you're called for. So dress up like she mentioned, the royals dress up and they are respected. And everywhere, everyone wants to know what is the queen wearing? What is the whole media want to know what they are wearing. But you know what? They are dressed decently and they are dressed in a beautiful way. So come out, women, and glow from the inside to the outside because you need to glow. Because you know what? You are the spice of life. As a woman, you are a spice. Just like our logo. Our logo represents, you see this, the pepper spice. A woman is a spice, and you have to spice the world, spice your home, and spice everywhere you go to. Okay, women, see you November 1st for those of us in the UK, and for those of us online, do not forget to click on the subscribe button and follow us on Instagram, on Facebook, on TikTok, follow us everywhere. Thank you so much. Let's have a good time. Thank you so much. Bye. Hey Queens! So I've brought good news for you. So you know what? On the 1st of November, we will be having this event dedicated for you, for every woman. Yes. And you know what? This event is an event like no other. We'll be having great lineup of speakers like Coach Wendy, #1 African parents coach. For those in TIP, you already know how we run it, right? No. And for those in MMP, Masterpiece Women, Coach Wendy is coming with her fire, like she's coming with her MMP vibes, bringing that fire. She's not coming to talk about parenting here. No, it's about you women, because we are special. Yes. And this conference is for you, that woman that wants to become a better version of herself, that woman that wants to glow, that woman that wants to thrive in the midst of all her troubles. She still wants to stand. She still wants to grow from the inside to the outside. And not just Coach Wendy, we'll be having Pastor Modupe Afolabi. She is one powerhouse. This woman, this 60-year-old that looks like a 30, you need to come and see her. Trust me, you need to come and see her. She's going to be talking to us about aligning our faith. Because you know, what affects the physical starts from the spiritual. So we are going to also be addressing the spiritual, aligning our spiritual and our physical, so that we can glow properly from the inside to the outside. For women that are so busy, or women that you have special needs children, and it's just like it's so much for you. Tola Andu is coming. This woman has raised a child who has been autistic. Now, Kevin could not talk till he was like 10 years old, yes. But Tola, in the midst of all these troubles, was still thriving. Thriving as a mother, as a full-time employee. Yes, she's a professional. And raising this child. And this child has grown to become a handsome young man. How is she doing it? So you that have been shouting, I'm overwhelmed, hey, motherhood, I'm overwhelmed. Come to this conference. Come and hear from women that are not just thriving, but women that are glowing from the inside to the outside. Register for this conference. I want to see you there.